So let's just review real quickly graphing sine and cosine. This question is something that I would typically ask my college algebra and trigonometry course. It says on the same set of axes, graph y equals 10 sine 1/4 x and y equals -5 cosine 2x on the interval where x is greater than or equal to 0 but less than 2 pi. Please state the amplitude and period of each. So I wrote down what I would do, my procedure. I would find the amplitude and period of each first. Then I would graph a basic curve of each of the functions. Then I would label each graph with the amplitude and period. And then I would take those graphs and transfer them onto a single graph on the interval from 0 to 2 pi. So if you want, I'll give you a second to write that down and maybe try it, and then I'll continue on. So this is what my setup would look like. So my amplitude I know is the absolute value of A, which would be the absolute value of 10, which would be equal to 10. And my period I know is 2 pi over B. So that's going to be 2 pi over 1/4, which is 8 pi. My amplitude over here, the same thing. It's going to be the absolute value of A. So that's going to give me 5. And my period is 2 pi over B. B in this case is 2. So my period is pi. So I'm able to find the amplitude and period of each without a problem. My next step would be to graph a basic sine curve over here. And a basic cosine curve. But be careful because this is the negation of the function. So that means instead of being a regular cosine curve, it's going to reflect over the x-axis. So my cosine curve will look like this. And then label it. So sine, I have an amplitude of 10, so it goes as high as 10 and as low as -10. And I have a period of 8 pi, so that means this cycle ends at 8 pi. That means half of this cycle would be at 4 pi. And over here, similarly, my amplitude would be as high as 5 and as low as -5. My period here is pi. So halfway there would be half pi. And we could fill in these increments as well. So if that's 4 pi, then this is 2 pi, 2 pi, 4 pi, 6 pi. If that's 1/2 pi, this would be 1/4. So I have 1/4, 2/4, 3/4, and 4/4 pi. So I'm able to graph both of those basic curves and label them. Now what I want to do is I want to transfer those onto a 0 to 2 pi interval. So that means pi is going to be halfway there, and I have 2 pi all the way over there. I know this goes as high as 10 and as low as -10. Right? So if I'm going to transfer this over and I look here at my sine curve, and I'm only going from 0 to 2 pi, well, 2 pi is right here. So I'm only looking at this picture. So I'm only graphing this much, from 0 to 2 pi. So I'm starting at the origin, and at 2 pi, I should be up at 10 up here. And that's what 0 to 2 pi on the interval 0 to 2 pi would be. Like, that's what this graph on the interval 0 to 2 pi should be. Similarly here, I want to take this and transfer it down, right? We see it has 0 to pi, so 2 pi is going to be way over here off the page. So let's graph what we have here. It looks like it starts at -5, right? And then it goes here, and here, here, and here. All right, I transferred that down completely. It goes as high as 5, as low as -5. And I want it to continue all the way out to 2 pi. So this curve or this wave will continue on like that. And that's it. And then we could label some more parts if we want. This is pi over 2, and this is 3/2 pi. And that's how you would graph two trig functions on the same set of axes.